Natasha Bollier, now you're the Director of Cultural Programs at Alliance Française in the city of DC. So when I think of Alliance Française, I think a place where people come to see the French community.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So I'm the one who organizes cultural events at the Alliance Française, let's say book talks and wine tastings and cooking demonstrations and film festivals. So I talk to people a lot during those events at the Alliance Française at our building on Wyoming Avenue. And sometimes people would come up to me and tell me that I'm so grateful that the Alliance Française exists, that I've been taking classes for many years, and I can finally attend this event and I could actually understand the conversation. So that makes me feel wonderful. And so these are great moments.
Tell us a little bit more about the services that are offered at Alliance Française.
First of all, Alliance Française is the place to learn French. We offer classes for all age groups, literally, starting from 1-year-olds. We also offer workshops and summer camps for kids. Then also, if you want to read in French, for example, we have a really big collection of French and Francophone books. And as a member, you can actually check them out. So you can always come to the Alliance Française and browse some magazines, which we have shipped directly from France, but you can also leave with a book by Camus or something like that. And then, of course, come to our cultural events. We organize a lot, like wine tastings and book talks with French and Francophone authors and film festivals and movie nights. So there's a very robust cultural life going on at the Alliance Française, and there are at least a couple of events every month.
Because of all the programs that are offered at Alliance Française, I imagine that when you walk through the door, it feels like you're stepping into a French community.
Oh, absolutely, yes. When you cross the threshold of the Alliance Française, you're basically traveling to France in terms of our classes, for example, it's full French immersion. And all our teachers are Francophone. They're all certified with teaching French as a foreign language. And let's take also summer camps for kids, for example. It's also French immersion. So only very rarely do teachers resort to English when they have to explain some very difficult point like subjunctive, for example, or something, right? But if not, it's a French immersion. And yes, you do feel like you just traveled miles.
Now, you must have people who come into, when they move to the United States and they come from a French-speaking country, they must feel so comforted to see that this resource is there for them.
Absolutely. Just very recently, I met this woman who just moved through her husband's work to DC, and she was just very curious about what the Francophone community is here in the DMV area, and she just came over to the Alliance Française, and we all had lunch together in our little bistro area in the library, and she was asking about us, our stories, and about events, and about the Alliance Française, and about activities for kids. So exactly. She was there to learn more about what's going on and to speak French, of course. Yes, she was very grateful for that. And this happens a lot.
Tell me a little bit about the network of Alliance Française across the country.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The réseau in French, the network of Alliance Française is the biggest actually in North America. So in the United States, we have more than 100 Alliance Française chapters. So yes, and compared to the whole world, there are over 800 Alliance Françaises. And it started in Paris. It was founded in 1883. And then the French ambassador to the United States opened a chapter in DC in 1905.
So when we think Alliance Française, we think people who love the French language but are not necessarily living in a French-speaking country.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of people who learn French for work purposes, either because they need to be better at at their current job, or because, for example, they've just got a job offer and they need to move to France, or if they want to pursue this as their future career, for example. And I already mentioned exams, so a lot of people come to the Alliance to do those certification exams, to study in France, to be admitted to the university universities or to work. And some of them take actually private classes if they need a very intensive course, if let's say they need to move in a couple of months, right? So we have that option as well. Or they take group classes for a couple of years and then pursue their professional goals. So absolutely, yes, a lot of people study French for professional purposes, and that definitely opens a world of opportunities for them.
I imagine that some of the events that you hold, it makes everybody feel connected in a way.
At the Alliance Française, we bring a lot of French and Francophone authors, and sometimes we actually organize classes about their books. So students would first read these books, discuss them in the class and everything, and then they would actually have a chance to meet the author, which is absolutely incredible. And they see the result of their work, the result of their hard work of learning French, reading the book, and then actually understanding the conversation with the author in French. And then on top of that, having their book signed by the author. So they leave the Alliance Française with this amazing feeling of excitement, of connection to the language, to the country, and also to the community here in DC. Because Alliance Française actually gives them this opportunity of feeling connected to the Francophone world.